The Flash, episode 22. Oh, yes. So I'm just letting you know right now, this episode was so dope. So I literally could talk about this episode all day long, but we can't record a video that long. So I'm just gonna go over my favorite moments in this episode, starting with one, Laura Lance. So Black Siren, that's her Earth 2 name, actually has the proper canary cry, not this fucking choker that she had on. Yeah. And she actually does damage, like real damage, even to Barry. Barry goes in super cocky, gets kind of blown away. And I really wish that we had that originally, but who cares? Who really knows why? But man, she was in full effect though, and her cockiness, the way she carried herself was super dope. And I was like, damn, couldn't y'all just give us that from the jump? But it's all good. I know that Arrow was really trying to stay away from the whole metahuman thing, because I understand the tech side of things, but she was super dope in this episode, and she called out Vibe and Killer Frost, or the Vibe and Killer Frost, or Reverb and Killer Frost from the Earth 2, basically threw something at Cisco, and she understands how doppelgangers are actually mirror opposites. So really interesting. Never thought of that. Maybe it's a plot hole. Who knows? But it worked in this episode. Pretty dope. Now, another thing that I really liked was Wally. Now, with this, it was cool because he obviously wants to start to help. He wants to be more of a hero. And he's kind of following in the footsteps of Barry and his dad. So I like that. And, obviously Barry goes to talk to him after Joe was like, look, man, I need you to talk to him, tell him no. But I think Barry understood, like, once he was saying, look, this is my city too. We all need to protect it. And Barry just smiled. And it was a dope part of the episode, because he wasn't just trying to be like a quote unquote police officer to Wally. He was just like, look, man, like, this is what I would suggest, but hey, do what you got to do. So I really, really liked that. And then obviously him saving Barry later in the episode when Black Siren was giving him the business. I thought that was dope. It was a cool way. And then obviously at the end, he tied it in, during the dinner, which we'll get to in a second. But it was just dope. They were like, I heard you saved the Flash. And he was like, oh, well, just right place at the right time. And it was just one of those things where it was a cool, subtle way to add that nod to, yep, you're going to be somebody one day, boy. You're going to be somebody. Now, obviously, Barry in this episode, crazy arc that he had. And it was one of those things, coming back from the Speed Force, he was just completely different, completely changed. His outlook on things is different. He's more confident. You can kind of say he was overconfident at times. But it was a good change of pace for Barry. He's always been so afraid to do things and fearful, and now he's kind of balancing out, and I feel like he's becoming more Flash-like, which I like a lot. So really interesting to see this kind of transformation for Barry, and it was throwing everybody off because they thought he was crazy. But it's all justifiable, and I think that's the great part of the episode. People were like, what is going on with him? This is not Barry that we know. And it was him trying to let him know, like, look, man, this is something bigger that's protecting us, that's doing this, and obvious Star Wars vibe to it with the Force. But it was dope. Like, it was still dope. If you didn't geek out on this, you're tripping. You're not a geek. Now, the other thing that Barry came up with was this plan to take out all the metahumans from Earth 2 at one time. And he obviously collabed with the team, making this kind of frequency generator that would, throw out this frequency that would basically nullify all of the Earth 2 metahumans. And it worked. But we see Zoom knock through a portal to jump back to Earth 2, which is really crazy. But when you think about his power in general, people haven't really dove into the Speed Force with Jay yet in this series, or Hunter Zolomon. But Hunter Zolomon didn't really have the Speed Force. He was really kind of warping time around him. So I wonder if he just has the ability to jump through Earths. Who knows? I have no idea. I'm talking shit right now. But if you guys have any other ideas about how he just kind of knocked through a portal, let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear your theories. Now the big one, Zoom. And he was such a crazy part of this episode. One, terrifying the hell out of Caitlin. I thought that was sick. She kept having these flashes freaking out. It had a very horror film vibe to him in this episode, and I really liked it. You know, you really played into the fear of Zoom, like how scary this guy actually is and how crazy he is. This dude's nuts. And that's what I was saying in the last episode. Just go full crazy. He went full crazy this episode. Full crazy. 100. But it all came down to the end. Everybody's happy. They got rid of all the metahumans from Earth 2. And the next thing you know, Vibe gets this crazy vibe, right? He's been having these vibes all episode about these birds. I thought it had something to do with the canary. Wrong. Next thing you know, he finally sees what's causing all this stuff and Earth 2 splitting in half. And as soon as he explains it to them, everybody's at the table. Next thing you know, Zoom comes in and snatches Barry's dad. And everybody's face, the fear that was on people's faces. I was like, oh my God, like my stomach just sunk. Barry takes off and Wally was like, what the fuck? I got chills, see? I got chills. It was such a dope part of the episode for Wally just to now find out. I don't know what the hell's going through his head. Like, hold on. All y'all knew Barry is the Flash. What, like the confusion he had on his face with the surprise was just so good. It was so good. It was so good. Then he goes and takes him back to his house. And he had talked to him early in the episode about how we're the same. We both had the same thing happen to us. He was like, and if you're not going to admit that we're the same, this is what I'm going to show you. And it was so tragic. It was so painful. And like, you know, his dad's telling him, I'm so proud of who you become and all of this. And he's like, don't be afraid. And it was just, it was so good. Steps back, gives him it. And I was just like, oh, and the pain on Barry's face was just so outrageous. To have another speedster take another one of his parents. Oh my goodness. I don't know. Do you know? Because I don't know. Do you know? I don't know either. I don't know. That was just the perfect way to end this episode. You can tell I'm super excited. This was probably one of my favorite episodes the entire season. It was such a good episode. But let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comment section. Did you like it? What were your favorite parts? Did I leave things out that you really enjoyed? Let me know in the comment section, guys. If you guys like this recap, hit that thumbs up button, show your boy some love. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, come on, man, show your boy some love. Hit that APP logo in the corner to subscribe to the channel. Or if you're on mobile, hit the subscribe button. All right, guys, till next time. See you later.